Friends, colleagues and listeners, here we are again, another quick and short podcast with one of the panelists from this year's conference. That was the particular panel was chaired by Abedin Dula. So the person I'm talking about is Sara van Gelder, who's the Director of Products for Allianz. So Sara, lovely to have you back again, and thank you so much for your involvement and effort during the conference.
Thank you, Chris.
And what I need to do is I've got another guest who seems not to want to let me go. There's a fly here. I'm in Spain, and this particular fly has taken a great interest in me and won't go. So for anybody who sees it flying around, or if you see me going on it, you know, there's nothing other than an annoying fly to blame. So sorry about that, Sara.
No worries, clear.
Right, Sara, you were one of the volunteers and you got actively involved, and it's greatly appreciated. And I know how much yourself and back in Steve Pullman's days, you know, when they were talking about bringing people into the industry and what makes them stay. So really appreciate your efforts. But what I just want to ask you is, what were your motivations or your intentions of wanting to get involved in this particular subject matter?
Yeah, I think first of all, if you genuinely have an interest in the industry, and you want to position yourself as a youngster who has had the opportunity to piggyback on more experienced people who give you the opportunity to mentor you, to take you along with them on the conference. I also have the feeling that you need to dedicate yourself to the topic to attract other young and new talent to the industry. So my personal interest was, first of all, every time when I participate in a panel, I'm looking forward to a good vibe and a genuine discussion with the other panelists, where we hopefully can engage the audience and leave an impact on how the fellow panelists and the audience thinks about the topic at the end of the conference. And I believe that it was a pretty engaging panel discussion. The audience was not very broad. It was at the end of the day, but that's a good sign. Probably everyone was networking, which is also very positive, and probably the reason people come to these conferences. But the people who were there in the audience were pretty engaged. We got a lot of questions, a lot of interaction during the panel, but also afterwards. Whenever organizers from other conferences, etc., approached us and told us like, hey, we want to get a similar topic on stage in some of the next conferences coming up this year. So I think that's that was very very nice for us to see that engagement from the audience that was there.
Yeah, and it's also a reflection of the dynamic and the interaction between the five of you, and also the subject matter. And you know, you all showed a genuine interest, not an interest just to be there, but a genuine and engaged interest, which I think is so much important. Now, you mentioned there something about being given the opportunity from an older person or someone more experienced, etc. I think that's something that's sometimes overlooked. If you get somebody who's coming to the end of their career, who genuinely wants to do something and wants to feel as if what they did made a difference, one of the best ways is to identify somebody who's got the correct attitude, the aptitude, and the determination to want to do something, and then pass it to them. It's a little bit like being in a relay race. Just because you win one leg doesn't mean you win the race. And if you pass the baton as comfortably and as timely as you can, that makes all the difference for the end.
For sure. And I also don't think that you need to wait until the end of your career to do that. I think in every point of your career, you can probably inspire people that you work together with, people who have similar positions in other organizations, or even talk to, like what I do personally, for example. There is a logistics school close by the airport in Brussels. And every year they ask if I'm interested to give a guest college. And I always try to do that because it's a huge opportunity to leave an impact on those students who are in the end doubting, should I go to road transport, or should I go to the port of Antwerp to look for a job, or should I maybe consider to go work in the air cargo, in the logistics industry there? And when they see someone speaking in front of them who tries to bring over the enthusiasm and all the opportunities that our industry brings, I hope at least on maybe one or two, I can leave a positive impact. So I'm not waiting till the end of my career to try to do the same. I know that, of course, the impact and the knowledge that someone with a lot of experience can bring is completely different. But I really think that everyone should take that opportunity in each phase of their career to influence young people and bring over that enthusiasm to attract them.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I know one of the things that Aberdeen's going to be doing, and all of you collectively, is identifying the storyline and the journey for next year's conference, and also the the structure. So there's going to be a much more structured delivery from you all, and we've got a few surprises in store as well. So to get more people on board. But now, what do you hope to be the outcome? Because outcomes and successes, in my opinion, are a lot more important than just people who keep saying what's wrong. It's very easy to say this could be better, or that could be done, or this should be done. But those that actually go out of their way to try and make that difference is what matters.
Really agree. Yeah, at the end of the panel this year, we did a call to action to the audience that was there. And I saw that it was picked up also by some magazines who published an article later on about our panel, and also on LinkedIn, where we actually asked the audience if they could spend like half a day when they get back to their offices to just invest it in some of the younger people in their environment, to help them find a mentor, to maybe involve them in one of the next conferences, to really listen to them on what their challenges are that they face in their career and how they can help them out. And I hope that by next year, and maybe throughout the year this year, we can follow up with some of the people in the audience to see if they actually were able to do that. Because I completely agree with what you're saying. It's very easy to be on stage and to just, say what's not going well. But when you are able to motivate people to take some of the topics back home and make it actionable, that's really where you can leave an impact. And I think for a lot of topics that often pass the conference programs in our industry, we should try to do that more, not only to attract young talent, but also on digitization, innovation, on sustainability. We should try to focus more on how do I take this home and how do I make it actionable and report back, and also keep people accountable for that, to report back on what they did with it. So I'm really looking forward to the format that we're going to try out next year. And I hope we can get some feedback and keep people accountable for the statements that they have made there.
I think we will, Sarah. I think we will, and especially with your input and engagement, as along with the other panelists. I think you made a huge impact, and well done you. Well done for the consistency of your perspective and your positivity. It's really is engaging and rewarding. So much so that even my friend the fly here has sat down on the corner of my laptop and has been looking at the screen. So you've got another supporter as well. So well done you.
I'm very happy that I'm able to engage flies, but I hope that we can have another impact with the workshops we do next year.
We will. But listen, thank you so much. It's really appreciated.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you.